As Donald Trump's inauguration approaches, things are looking bleak for Mexico. The peso hit an all-time low against the dollar this week after the US president-elect's press conference. Arabella Munro takes a look at the worsening relationship.
This is the skeleton of a factory that was never finished. Ford scrapped its $1.6 billion plant in San Luis Potosi last week in favor of investing in the US. And the company's decision is worrying many people in the area.
I have an uncle who was going to work at Ford. He left his other job to get in there, and now he is left jobless.
Ford made the announcement after Donald Trump threatened American companies with what he called a big border tax. And Mexico's president, Enrique Peña Nieto, has criticized Donald Trump's interventionism.
We reject any attempts to influence investment decisions with companies based on fear and threats.
Fiat Chrysler has also promised more American investment, and Trump is now leaning on General Motors to follow Ford out of Mexico and back to the US.
I appreciate that from Ford. I appreciate it very much from Fiat Chrysler. I hope that General Motors will be following.
The Mexican peso hit a new low after those comments, and Trump's repeated threat of a new border tax. The peso's already been struggling since Trump won the election in November, on the belief the new administration will negotiate a tougher trade deal. This row isn't just about businesses moving back to the US. Trump says he'll make Mexico pay for the wall he's promised to build along the border, something the country has outright rejected.
It is evident that we have some differences with the next government of the United States, such as the issue of the wall, which of course Mexico will not pay for.
Mexico's deeply unpopular president is also facing turmoil at home, with protests over petrol price increases running into a second week. Ford is just one of the companies buying into Trump's policy of promoting American manufacturing at Mexico's cost. And he hasn't even taken office yet. Arabella Munro, TRT World.
And TRT World's editor-at-large, Craig Copetas, joins us now live from Paris. Craig, in the past hour or so, we know that the Mexicans have given a new ambassador to the United States, the third in 1 year. His name is Jeronimo Guterres. He's the head of the North American Development Bank, which was set up under NAFTA. Why do the Mexicans have to chop and change their ambassadors to the United States so often?
It's called the Peso. It's called the trade agreement. When Donald Trump becomes president, he will have a huge amount of power that extends beyond the frequently mentioned access to the nuclear codes. The president of the United States has the authority to, on his own, trigger unlimited tariffs during a time of war. Now, you might well say, well, there's no war going on. Well, actually, there is. Nixon did this in 1971, citing the Korean War, which, of course, a peace treaty was never signed, to impose 10% tariffs on all goods across the board coming into the U.S. President Trump also has the authority to trigger unlimited, and I mean totally unlimited tariffs during a national emergency. And, of course, he's the one who declares a national emergency. So he has a great deal of power to get money out of Mexico and to make life difficult for the Mexicans.
Well, Craig, you know, this was Trump's first proper news conference as president-elect. He's chosen thus far to keep us all updated constantly via Twitter. And in it, he said, you know, I will make the Mexicans pay for a wall. I don't feel like waiting. And the Mexican counterpart has said, no, we're not going to pay. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Trump has the authority to make Mexico pay for the wall, but not through writing a check, as Trump says. First of all, there is in the neighborhood of $25 billion of remittances from Mexicans in the United States, which go to Mexican families. The President of the United States can confiscate, cut that money off, and take it. So that's one way he can do it. Again, he can also do it by imposing 35 to 45% tariffs on goods coming out of Mexico. And he can do the same thing in China, and he can do it anywhere in the world.
Craig, I just want to end this little part of the program by showing you a cartoon from The Economist. It likens Donald Trump to the asteroid that hit Mexico and destroyed much of the world at the time. And you know Mexico very well. You were there and you lived there and you have a place there. Is that how Mexicans see Donald Trump? Almost like the apocalypse, financial apocalypse?
God bless the cartoonist at The Economist, but the situation is more like the symbiotic relationship you saw in the movie, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This all orbits around the peso and the currency trading of the peso. Okay, so far this year, the peso is the world's worst performing of the top 16 traded currencies. Right now, it's 21.53. $1 buys you 21.53 pesos. Wait for it to hit 26. That's the magic number, and we'll have another chat again when it hits 26, because that's when it's going to get interesting.
Craig Copetas in Paris, thank you for that.